Have you ever felt like you were at your job for years, putting in more work than you were getting recognized for, and now you're looking for another career to get into? This is exactly where Ashley, who I'm interviewing today, found herself as a PCT in the healthcare industry for 12 years and only had 3 raises. In this video, she's sharing how she transitioned into tech sales with more money and more time freedom, and she did it all in 6 weeks. Let's see what she has to say. All right, so Ashley, can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're currently doing in the tech industry?
Yeah, so my name is Ashley. I am from Detroit, Michigan. I am currently a BDR in EdTech. I've been in this role for about a year and 5 months. I love it, by the way. The best
Awesome.
decision that I've ever made, transitioning from the healthcare background of 12 years into a tech sales role with no sales experience.
Oh,
The only
yeah.
experience that I have is CourseCareers. That's the only thing that I have to offer when it came to resume and also in the interviews.
Got you. So you mentioned you came from the healthcare industry, like that was all you knew. As far as that, let's go back there then. What was your education background like and your career situation like before you found Course Careers?
Yeah, so I have associates in medical billing and coding, so that was kind of like all I knew. I have background in patient care tech as well, so it's again hospital setting. So that really was all that I like really had to offer on my resume. It was definitely an eye opener when it came to understanding that in an entry level role, you don't need sales background. You just need the basic skills that you already have, and you just have to present it in a more appealing way to get that offer.
Okay, so you were in the healthcare field and you had a degree and you were certified in a space. Obviously, there was something there, though. What was some of your biggest frustrations or challenges in your previous career path in the medical industry?
Yeah, so my whole reason of transitioning was no growth. Once you enter the healthcare field at a title or a level, that's it. There isn't no patient care technician one, patient care technician two, medical billing coder one. Like there's no leveling up. It's just you come in as you are. Also, the pay was just a little low. 12 years, I probably got a raise maybe 3 times. So it was kind of
Yeah,
like very stagnant. I felt like that I was putting in more work and not getting recognized for it. So it was time for a change. I do have kids, so that also played a part. Being able to, have like that work life balance. So I felt like transitioning from the healthcare setting where you're in a hospital and you can't really make your own schedule. It's that basic 9 to 5. Like, if you want to leave early, it's say we might ding you for that and you might lose
for
your
sure.
job. So it was times where as a mom I couldn't be there for my kids, and I knew I was like I can't sacrifice another year, moment, day for this type of lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, and especially when it comes to kids, because a lot of those milestones they happen once, and then that's it. So you were able to see that and like, hey, I got to do something different. What then initially attracted you to tech sales, like that industry, and then course careers? What got you on that track?
Yeah, so I was just literally sitting in bed at 12 o'clock at night, and something was just like, New Year's coming, it's Christmas Eve, like you have to go into the new year with a new purpose, new job, new purpose, new salary, everything new. So I was like, I just googled high paying salary jobs that require
Hey,
little to no experience. Course Careers popped up number one, and it was a
wow.
YouTube video, and I remember seeing someone's testimonial, and I was like, nah, this is not real, right? I was like, she went from doing this to now she's making that. I was like, it has to be a scam, right? And then I started digging and digging and digging, and I seen more and more people being successful transitioning into tech sales from Course Careers. So I was like, I prayed on it, and I was like, I'm gonna take a leap of faith and I'll pay for this course. And I did. And obviously, it was a whole new industry. So I was kind of, lacking the skills, the knowledge. So I was kind of confused at first. But then I realized that the curriculum that Course Careers provides is very self paced. So you don't have to rush through it. So I was able
For
to go
sure.
back, test myself, see what I knew, what I didn't know. And then when I was able to finish the course in 2 weeks, by the way,
Wow.
I was able to finish the course. And then I was like, I'm out here. Like, what's
Yeah.
next? I got the certificate, and then I was just moving forward from there. And then I was able to learn everything from interviewing, prepping, resume building, and then I ended up getting an offer in 30 days.
Wow. So now you finished the course in 2 weeks and
Yep.
then you got the offer in 30 days. Was that total or is it 30 days on top of the 2 weeks?
I started the course the last week of December. I
Yeah.
finished the whole entire course the second week of January. So from that
Gotcha.
mid January to mid February, that's when I was doing interviewing, prepping, just preparing myself to be an ideal candidate for these tech sales
Yeah.
companies. And then I started my job in March, the first week of
Wow. That prayer worked, didn't it? So, and to bring it back to that, obviously, sometimes you want to pray, you want to make sure you're making the right decision all the time. But what were some of your main concerns or doubts before you actually started the program? Because, there was
March.
something there where you're like, hey, let me make sure.
It was just more so of I never heard of the tech sales industry. So it was like I
Yeah.
didn't know no one. I couldn't call no one to verify, to do a fact check. It was just like, what's that? Everybody was like, what's that? What's that? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just going to, pray on it, like I said, and I'm going to take a leap of faith. So I didn't have anybody to consult in. My parents thought it was fake. Like, I was going to my mom and I'm like, Mom, what do you think about this? Like, you could start off making 50, 60K. She was like, mm-mm, with no degree, no background, no skill. Mm-mm. And I was like, come on, Ma. So sometimes, you go to people and they might discourage you in making the decision. So like I said, I prayed on it. I asked myself, like, what can I do for me and my kids? What can I
Yeah.
give to my family that will be beneficial for everybody? And it was Course Careers, literally.
You mentioned that family, or you go to people you trust, and a lot of times it's them trying to protect us, right? Like they love you and they just don't want to see you go down a bad path or wrong path. So if it sounds, there's no way they did that in that amount of time and made that amount of money without a degree or without X, Y, and Z. But sometimes we got to pray on it and then, hey, you know what? I'm getting a check that says I need to go for this or else
Yeah.
I'm gonna regret it. So kudos to you for sticking it and hanging in there for sure. Yeah. So once you got the course, right, how did your mindset change around like the hesitancy around the course and course careers? How did it change as you were going through the course and you found out what was in there and what it was teaching? How did it change from there?
Well, to be honest, you have to have a self growth mindset. So you can't go into Course Careers thinking that it's going to give you everything from A to Z and, you're just going to come out a genius in tech sales. It was more
Yeah.
so of a mindset switch for me. It was like, if you want to learn this information, you have to be serious. You have to apply it, meaning like practice writing cold emails, cold calling. I remember I cold call my family all the time. Like I'll call them and say, "Hey, my name is Ashley from so and so company. How are you doing today?" And they were getting tired of me. Like I was like, I
Yeah.
need to do this because I've never done it before. So you have to be, that self growth mindset. You have to be positive too, because that final, it was definitely challenging if you didn't apply yourself throughout the course. So if you were just rushing through it to just say, hey, I took the course, I did it. But the final was a test. It was to test you to see, did you actually learn what the information that we gave you? Are you ready to apply that to an entry level role? So it was just more of a test for myself. And then I just kept thinking about my family, my kids, like, I could do this and get that. And the lifestyle that I want, like, you want them shoes, I want that bag. I was
Yeah.
like, I got to do it. So it was definitely a personal push for me.
Yeah, being able to go back and think on those things, that'll get you through the finish line for sure, right? We'll do more for others than we'll do for our own self sometimes. So having those checkpoints of family or, children, it'll get us through. And you mentioned, Ashley, you said you completed the course in 2 weeks, and then there was another 30 days. You got the role. For someone else who is looking at your story and they're listening to you and they're like, yo, I'm in the medical field, I'm tired, or, whatever the case may be. She looks like me. Let me go ahead and do what she did. What's a ballpark that someone could expect in a role like a SDR, BDR, the entry level role?
Well, since I'm a coach at CourseCareers, I tell all of anyone that I come in contact with, everyone's journey is going to be different. This is your
Yeah.
story. So if you apply yourself, meaning like apply to 5 to 6 companies a day, your chances of getting into a role will be a little bit faster. But if you take a week off, you do Monday, you skip Tuesday, you do Friday, if you're not really serious about it, it might take you a few months. I've helped people get jobs within weeks after finishing the course. I've helped people get jobs days, with after finishing the final. So it's like it's all about you. So if you have the drive, if you're coachable, because obviously you need that preparation, you need someone to help you. If you have no background in sales, you really don't know where to start. So if you're coachable, if you're able to retain information quickly, and not saying like you have to be a genius, but if you can just apply what you learn into the interview, you will be more likely an ideal candidate. And they will choose you, even though you have no sales background, but you're showcasing your skill set. You're showing that you know how to, strong verbal and communication. You're showing how to be coachable. You're showing how to prospect, because we learned that in CourseCareers. So, everything that CourseCareers provides for you, you have to use that in the interviews. You have to speak it. Because if you don't say it, if you don't put it on your resume, they don't know that you have that skill set.
Didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't happen. They don't have it. I'm
Exactly.
going to the next candidate. Yeah. And so with that, once they're in there and they do get the interview and they do it, someone who's looking at the moment, like what could they expect salary wise in those roles?
Salary, it depends. I feel like I see lowballing, I see high, but I feel like salary is negotiable. How is your negotiable, how is your negotiating skills? When you go into an interview and they say, hey, well, we're starting from 55, but you see that there was a range on the job description. Are you going to negotiate, or are you going to take the
Yeah.
first number that they give you? So it's really on you pretty much. But they definitely start off at like, 50, 55 for sure. That's the minimum that I see a lot, which is a lot for people who have 9 to 5 like myself. Back in the day, I never seen $50,000.
Yeah.
12 years experience in a hospital, never seen 50,000, and that's sad.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like I gave you guys 12 years of my life, and I never seen 50. No bonus, no Christmas, nothing, no commission,
Yeah.
no nothing. So it was definitely an eye opener. But then I do see some high salaries like 70, 80, So, I mean, it's a range out there, but I feel like it's whatever you feel like you can live off of. If you can live life off
Yeah.
of 50, go for it. If you're like, hey, I'm in California, I can't live off 50, it's high out here, then go for the 80K, go for the 70K, So it's really
That
just
makes yeah.
a personal question you have to ask yourself. What do I want?
Yeah, that makes sense. And like go for it and then you'll find it. Like if that's what you're looking for, you'll see it. They'll start popping up and you can go from there. And so now you mentioned earlier, Ashley, so I got to ask you. You mentioned earlier about, you know, being able to do something different so you can go on those trips, so you can get those shoes, right? And do those things. How are you feeling now that you've completed the course and you got the job, you've been in there for over a year? Was it worth it?
Yes. Yes. I say this all the time. At my tech talks on Tuesdays, I say I would not be here if it wasn't for CourseCareers. I would not even know what it feels like to get paid 3 times a month based on the product that I give, meaning like my work. I get paid off the work, the hard work that I provide to a company, the
Yeah.
appreciation, the unlimited PTO. If I want to say, hey, I need Friday off, which is like tomorrow, they're gonna like, bye, see you Monday, and
No
that's the work
questions.
balance that I need, because when you have kids, you just never know. They wake up sick, school might be out, power is out, snow day, you just never know. But when you have a company or industry that cares about their employees and pays well, that $400 or $500 course is worth it. It's going to change
Yeah.
your life. It's going to put you in a position where you can only level up from here.
Oh, that's so true. And with that, you sprinkled in some things throughout this talk here, but what do you like most about being in tech versus the medical space that you came from, right? Like you talked about not having as many raises in 12 years and now unlimited PTO, but what are some of those things that you like the most?
Overall, work life balance. It's the
Ah,
work life balance for me. I don't feel like I'm, just a worker bee. I'm actually being praised for my work based on the pay that I get. Being able to get a OTE, which is an on target earning check, which is commission if people don't know, but being able to accomplish that just by hitting goals. So every month I have a goal or a quota that I have to hit, to get a bonus check, but it makes me more motivated to go to work. I never been motivated to go to work. I never woke up before and was like, I'm going to work today. It's Monday. I never
yeah,
had that energy. But in tech sales, I'm like, it's Monday. I got 30 days to hit this quota. I got to get this bonus check. Like, never had that energy. So I tell people
yeah,
how you can work remote. I work fully remote from home. So I enjoy my home, my space. I can, take a little break, enjoy some coffee, and still make the money that I feel like I deserve in my 30s. So, I
yeah.
mean, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. That's for sure. I'm sure there's some people that are looking at this right now saying, check, check, check. Like you checking off all their boxes for sure. And so I get Ashley right now. Let's end here with this one. Like, what are some of your career goals now that you actually see a light at at the end of that tunnel, and it's not dead end now? What are some of your career goals or plans that you have? In the tech industry or tech sales or just now that that's opened up for you, what are you looking towards?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So right now, since I'm again not a newbie, I'm a year in, I just want to master the SDR BDR role. I want to be able to master, meaning like I can do this with my eyes closed and I feel confident. So I'm gonna stick in the BDR SDR role for, maybe another year or so. But then I'm gonna try to go for the account executive where I can do the presentations, the clothing, maybe a little traveling, the demoing. So that way I can know the whole full sales cycle. Every role plays a different part in the sales cycle. So right now, as a BDR, I just do the prospecting, the cold calling, the emailing, finding new business. But eventually, I do want to learn new skills and close deals and do presentations and be more hands on when it comes to like the deals and things like that.
Oh, love that. I mean, with your skills and the time that you put in, I know you're going to do that for sure. And with that, Ashley, thank you so much for doing this with us. I know you're going to help so many people with just what you said here. And we will see y'all in the next one. Man, that was great. If you want to find a entry level tech sales job without previous experience or degree, I put a link down below in the description to CourseCareers' free introduction course that's going to teach you everything about what working in tech sales is like and how the course works. I'll see you in the next one.